Boom! Hello guys, I told you I'd be back, and I am back, and I'm back with a bang. I am back here to give you my Premier League predictions for this weekend, from the starting from Friday. Sorry, from Saturday the 21st to Monday the 23rd. Um, uh, I'm currently recording this at 4:57 in the morning on Thursday, and if you're an Arsenal fan, what a big 2 points to drop at Wolves, because the Premier League title race is now heating up. If Man City do of course win their next game, they are only 2 points off Arsenal. Can they catch Arsenal? I think they very well can, and I'm not writing Man United off here, because if United win on the weekend, they are only 10 points behind Arsenal. Anyway, let's move on to the Premier League predictions. Starting first of all on Saturday is a 3 o'clock kickoff, which is of course Leeds United versus Aston Villa. Leeds have been on a decent run of form at the minute. They drew with Liverpool at home. Oh, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong ones here. Sorry, they drew with Chelsea away. They beat Forest at home. They did get battered by Arsenal at home, and they drew with Everton away. Villa have been a bit inconsistent, a very bit inconsistent. They beat RB Salzburg 3-2 at home, lost 1-0 at home to Brentford, drew 1-1 with Bournemouth, won 1-0 against Brighton, and lost 3-1 to Newcastle at home in the FA Cup. So if we're going based off Premier League points in their past, Premier League, of their most two recent Premier League games, because Leeds have played the extra one, so they've both picked up 4 points from a possible six, which isn't bad considering. I'm saying that more along the point of Leeds here, especially since they beat Forest at home and drew with Chelsea. Brighton and Villa should have been winning that one. It should have been more than 1-0. They are the much better team on paper. And a 1-1 draw away to Bournemouth, it's a tough place to go, but it's not ideal. Not ideal. But in their last meeting, Villa did win this game comfortably. Well, I say comfortably at Ellen Road, and it was 2-1. And Leeds is always a tough place to go and get a point, or get 3 points even. And I'm gonna. So it was a big result for Villa back then. Villa have dropped off a little bit. I'm not gonna discredit Villa. I think they are a brilliant team, and I really think they have a lot to give. But for me, Leeds at the minute are playing some decent football. They struggled against Birmingham and made it through a penalty shootout, which was surprising to me. But besides the point, I'm going to back Villa here, and I'm going to go again. I'm going to go same scoreline. I think Leeds will grab a goal, but I think Villa will just edge it out. I'm going to go Aston Villa 2, Leeds United 1. And our next game we look at is Brentford versus Brighton. Now, Brentford are flying up the Premier League table. They have only lost. If we go off Premier League results here, from a possible 12, they've picked up 7. From a possible 12, Brighton have picked up 1. Yes, granted, they did lose to Nottingham Forest at home. That was a sloppy result. They beat Villa away, massive result. Newcastle away, massive result. Drew 1-1 with Arsenal at home, massive result. But then they struggle to get past a team like National League Macclesfield. It baffles me. But Brighton, less said about them the better. Lost 1-0 to Villa away from home. Lost 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace. Drew 1-1 with Everton and lost 2-1 away. They drew 1-1 with Everton at home and lost 2-1 away at Fulham. In the head-to-head in the recent meet-up between these two, Brighton did actually come out victorious back in November, but Brentford have won this exact fixture 4-2 last season, last winning consecutive home league games against Brighton between 1998 and 2007. Brighton are looking to complete their first Premier League double over Brentford for the first time since 2021 and 2022 campaign. Well, unfortunately for you, Brighton, you are not coming away with the points in this. I think Brentford are going to win this very comfortably. Brentford have been on such good form recently. Despite losing Johan Wissa and Brian Mbeumo, I think Brentford are a really strong side and they're currently sat in 7th, so it makes a lot of sense and they're making good signings. I'm going to go Brentford 3, Brighton 1. I think they have been on a really good run of form just lately, and I think it's going to continue here. Right, next up we are going to go to Stamford Bridge as we get Chelsea in 5th against Burnley in 19th. Chelsea again have been okay, a bit inconsistent. From a possible 9 points in the Premier League, they have picked up 7. Dropping 2 at home to Leeds was crucial. Crystal Palace, Burnley, however, have picked up 4 points in out of a possible 12. And they've had the extra game in those last 5 games in the Premier League, and Chelsea as well. Burnley are just too inconsistent for me. They can go to Crystal Palace and go from 2-0 down to win 3-2 one week and then lose to Mansfield Town at home in the FA Cup in the next week. They've never really had much luck in the FA Cup, Burnley. I remember when they lost to Lincoln City a few years ago, and for me, they're just not consistent enough. In the recent fixture, Chelsea did win this comfortably 2-0. And with this being at Stamford Bridge, no messing about here. I am going to back Chelsea. There's no other way to put this. I'm going to go Chelsea 4, Burnley 1. Next up is the Premier League relegation fighting team of West Ham. They've been okay recently, West Ham. They're on some good form. They drew 1-1 with Man United. They beat Burnley 2-0. They did lose a narrow game where they were in front at Stamford Bridge to Chelsea 3-1. And they beat Sunderland 3-1. They have been on some decent form. However, I think from the possible 12 points, they've picked up 7, which is decent for a team in the bottom 3. Bournemouth, however, from a possible 15, have picked up 11 points, which is remarkable. They drew 1-1 away to Brighton, beat Liverpool at home 3-2, beat Wolves away 2-0, drew 1-1 at home with Villa and beat Everton away 2-1. This is such a really good match, this. Oh dear. Do you know, I think there's going to be an upset this weekend, and I am going to give it to West Ham. I think West Ham are really fighting for this Premier League now to stay up. And I'm going to go West Ham 2, Bournemouth 1. It could be a draw, but I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm not going to go for a Desmond. I am going to go for a 2-1 win to West Ham. And now our 8 o'clock kickoff is second place Man City against 10th Newcastle United. Man City, they're on an unbelievable run of form. They were 1-0 down to Liverpool in the derby game, and they did actually win in the end. But they drew 2-2 away with Tottenham, which is sloppy points to give away. Newcastle, however, in the Premier League, from a possible 6th from a possible 9 points, they picked up 3. With that being a 2-1 win away to Tottenham. But in the Premier League, out of a possible 9, Man City have picked up 7. And in the reverse fixture, Man City did win this 3-1. But they are unbeaten. Newcastle Newcastle did beat them in the reverse fixture of this last season 2-1. So I don't know. Oh no, it's going. Oh, okay. In the reverse fixture in the Premier League, Newcastle did win this. I was looking at the League Cup results, but Man City have beat them twice in the League Cup since then. It's at the Etihad. I am going to give it Man City. I'm going to go Man City. Man City 3, Newcastle 1. And then we're going to move on to Sunday's games. We've got a couple of good games coming up on Sunday for you. Big, important games, actually. They need to play them, and they need to play them good, especially Tottenham, because they are on the ropes at the minute. But first up, we've got Crystal Palace, falling Crystal Palace, and fighting Wolves. Wolverhampton Wanderers have been brilliant so far. Despite a couple of losses they've against tough opposition, they've been putting up a really good fight in the Premier League, and I think it's too little too late to save them, but they're certainly not going down without a fight. The less can be said about Crystal Palace, to be honest. From a possible 12 points, they've picked up 4, losing to Burnley, losing to Chelsea, losing to Sunderland, beating Brighton and drawing with Forest. But from a possible... This hasn't updated yet for Wolves. But from a possible 4 games in the Premier League, they have picked up 1 point. No, they haven't. They've picked up 2 as of Wednesday. And it's not updated when they drew 1-1 with Arsenal, 2-2 with Arsenal at the Molineux. In the reverse fixture of this, Crystal Palace did win this 2-0. I kind of want Wolves to get a point here, but I think Crystal Palace need to wake themselves up a little bit after that horrendous result to Burnley midweek. Not good enough at all, really. It's not good enough whatsoever for me. So I am gonna back Crystal Palace 2-1. And Wolves will get a goal, and they've been really, really fighting for this. So it wouldn't surprise me if they do get a goal, and do get a couple of goals and make it a draw. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest, who again are fighting from that relegation zone, and they come up against Liverpool. Liverpool have been on a decent run of form, but besides that, nothing special really from Liverpool. They've not really played anyone in the Premier League that's had much of a test on them. They scraped a 1-0 win against Sunderland, which I was not expecting. I thought Sunderland were going to get something out of that. They were the better team for me. They lost to Man City at home. They beat Newcastle 4-1 comfortably, and from a possible 9 points, they've picked up 6 in the Premier League. And from a possible 12 for Forest, they picked up 5 in the Premier League, beating Brentford 2-0 away, drawing 1-1 with Crystal Palace at home, losing 3-1 to Leeds away, and drawing 0-0 with Wolves at home. This is at Forest though, and I'm very cagey about this because in the reverse fixture, believe it or not, at Anfield, you take a look, Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool 3-0, and I'm not going to go for that same scoreline because I think that's absolutely abhorrent to say. But Forest do like scoring a few goals against Liverpool, and they do like to get a win in the most unlikely of circumstances. So I'm going to back Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest 2, Liverpool 1. I think Nottingham Forest may just grab this here. They always seem to show up against Liverpool, and believe it or not, I think they're unbeaten against Liverpool in the past 3 games. Yeah, in their past 3 games, they are unbeaten against Liverpool. Unreal, isn't it? Really. So I'm gonna back Forest 2-1. Then you've got Sunderland against Fulham, mid-table clash, 11th versus 12th. Sunderland have been on a slippery slope the past couple of weeks in the Premier League, but they're still giving it their best go. They've picked up 3 points from a possible 9, and same with Fulham. They've picked up 3 points from a possible 9. Um, Reverse fixture. Fulham actually won this 1-1-0, but you can't go to Sunderland's ground and expect to win unless you are a team with the highest pedigree, and even then it's a struggle for some teams at times, like Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, to get solid wins at Sunderland. So I'm going to back Sunderland 2-0. I'm going to go Sunderland 2-0. I'm not going to keep going 2-1 because it's just boring. So I'm going to go Sunderland 2, Fulham 0. Then we move on to our final game of Sunday, which is Tottenham versus Arsenal. It's 16th up against 1st. Less said about Tottenham, the better, really. They've picked up 2 points in the Premier League from a possible 12. Arsenal have picked up 7 points from a possible 9, dropping 2 points away at Brentford, and it could have been 3 points. Oh no, sorry. They've picked up 5 points from a possible. Well, as it stands here, it's 7 from 9, but they dropped points at Wolves. So by the time this goes out, it will be 5 points out of a possible 9, which is not ideal. That means they've drew their last 2 games, and Tottenham got hammered in the away result in this. But do you know something? There's something telling me that Tottenham are gonna get a point here. Will they get a point? They took 2 points off Man City. So let me go back to on the 1st of Feb. Yeah, let's have a look here. And if we have a look at the match stats for this game, it was pretty even, to be fair, shot wise. Let's have a look at the head-to-head out City did in the reverse fixture of this. They lost. Okay. That puts that into perspective for me. But it was the start of the season. I think it was the second game into the season, so I'm sitting on the fence here. I don't know which way to go. It's going to be such a tight game. I think I don't see Arsenal walking all over with this, especially having just played midweek against Wolves. Really don't know. This is really hard to predict this. Did Tottenham play in the FA Cup on Saturday? Let me just double check. I'm not sure if they did. I don't think they did. No, they didn't. So they've had some rest. Tottenham have had some rest in the Premier League and in the FA Cup. So they've had a good week and a half rest here. When was their last game? I think it was Tuesday the 10th. Yeah, it's 2-1 defeat to Newcastle. So that'll be nearly a 2 week break and chance to regroup since then. I think this is a very, very tough game for Arsenal. Either way, because there's a lot on the line here. If they slip up by the slightest bit, they are in deep trouble. So for me, I think they are going to slip up again, and I'm actually going to back Tottenham to win this. I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Arsenal 1. I was going to go for a draw. Do I go for a draw? Yeah, I do. I'm going to give Arsenal the benefit of the doubt. They are top for a reason. I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Arsenal 2. Same result as Man City's game against them. So, yeah. And then, of course, we've got our final game, which is Everton versus Manchester United. Bear with me just a second. Which is Everton versus Manchester United. Form-wise, from a possible 15 points, Manchester United have picked up 13, and in that run, beating Tottenham, Fulham, Arsenal, Man City. Unreal. From a possible from a possible 15 points, Everton have picked up 8, whereas United have picked up 13. And in that run, beating City at home, Arsenal away, Fulham at home, Spurs at home, drawing with West Ham away. But Everton lost to Bournemouth 2-1 at home, beat Fulham 2-1 away, drew with Brighton 1-1 away, drew with Leeds 1-1 at home, and beat Villa 1-0 away. I don't know who to go with here because I know I'm a Man United fan and Everton are shocking at home. But I don't know how they got on in the reverse fixture, to be honest. I don't know. I'll have to have a quick look and I can make my decision. Because it can influence. Okay, yeah, how can I forget? We actually lost 1-0 and Everton got a red card as well. I think it was James Garner. Keenan Dewsbury Hall. He scored that outrageous goal. Yeah, that was when we was under Amorim. I don't think for me, I know we're away from home. I know it's a bigger test for us being away from home, but Everton are just not consistent enough at home. And United are on a really good run of form at the minute, and I am going to back Man United. I'm going to go Everton 1, Manchester United 3. There you go, guys. There is my Premier League predictions for game week 28 or 27 or 28, I think. And if you do have any questions and you do have any other queries, please drop me a message or drop me an email at traffordtalks25@gmail.com or comment your predictions down in the bottom. Do remember, guys, I read all comments, and if you've got any comments that you want to give to me, please do so. And also on that, once you've commented down your predictions, if you've got any of them right after the weekend, please comment down your results. 3 points for one, 3 points for a correct result. 1 point for 3 points for a bang on result. So 2-1 or 3-0. A 1 point for the correct result without the correct scoreline. Do remember to subscribe and always come back to the best YouTube channel for everything Manchester United. And until next time and the next video, guys, peace.